Mr. President, with the information, for the information of the body, we did have an all-member caucus, but the minority was not there. Only Senator Padilla was there.
Padilla.
But it's not their fault, Mr. President. Dumating po si Vice President Sara Duterte, so they were, of course, accommodating and hosting Madam Vice President's office nila. But so the status was we were not able to discuss it lengthily and fully because of, we didn't have the sponsors of these measures in the all-members caucus yesterday. Pero nandito po tayo. For the record, nandito po tayo naghihintay sa lounge. So if the good gentleman would want, maybe after this we can suspend after the 3 resolutions and discuss it.
We are more than willing to discuss it,
again.
Mr. President.
Okay. Yeah. So yun na lang po, Mr. President. We can discuss it later on after the business of the day.
Yes, if the body so desires, we can conduct a caucus after the business at hand.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we have three items of the day. We have 2 resolutions, simple resolutions, and 1 ratification that hopefully we can approve on second reading. But for the 2 resolutions, we have an additional reference of business. So I move with the additional reference of business, Mr. President, so we can take up the resolutions. Yes.
The additional, is it contained in the additional reference of business? Majority Leader.
Yes, sir.
You need 16 votes for that particular.
Bukas pa po yung ratification for the second reading lang po.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
Only
believe
for second reading.
the gentleman from Nueva Ecija, Camarines Norte, and Mindanao would like to be recognized.
Senator Robin Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo, at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Gusto ko lamang pong sundan yung kahilingan po ng ating mahal na kapatid at Senador Jingo Estrada patungkol po sa kahilingan namin, sa resolusyon po namin patungkol po kay dating Pangulo Rodrigo Roa Duterte. At gusto ko lamang din pong kunin po ang atensyon ng ating mga kasama na kami po kasi ay nangangamba kasi meron pong mga usap-usapan na yung dati pong senador na si Antonio Trillanes ay nagpunta daw po sa Dahil at ang pinaniniwalaan po ng karamihan ay siya po ay nagpunta mismo sa kulungan ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Nais lang po sana namin itong malinawan dahil matagal po akong nakulong sa Bilibid. Hindi po kailanman na meron pong pupunta na tao na hindi mo gustong makita. Yun po tatanungin ka muna ng gwardya kung gusto mo bang makita itong taong ito. Yun lamang po, gusto lamang po naming malinawan kasi meron na pong matinding sakit si Tatay Digong. Sa kasalukuyan po, siya po ay meron ng tinatawag nating early signs of dementia. Kaya sana lang po, malinawan po namin to. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We take note of the manifestation of our good colleague. So, Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the reference of business. Additional reference of business.
The Secretary will proceed with the reference of business.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading, Senate number 1419, an act consolidating all performance measurement tools and reward system for all local government units by institutionalizing culture of meritocracy in the Philippines, amending certain provisions of RA 11292, the Seal of Good Local Governance Act of 2019, and for other purposes. Senator Villar M.
Referred to the Committees on Local Government and Finance.
Senate number 1420, an act mandating the inclusion of social awareness and social responsibilities as part of the curriculum in all senior high schools. Senator Villar M.
Referred to the Committee on Basic Education.
Senate number 1421, an act mandating the integration of the National Building Code of the Philippines under RA 6541, an act to ordain and institute a National Building Code of the Philippines as a major subject in the curriculum of the Bachelor of Science degree programs in Civil Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Sanitary Engineering, Electronic Engineering, and Architecture, and its inclusion as a topic in the licensure examinations for this profession. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Higher Education and Civil Service.
Senate number 1422, an act promoting integrated urban agriculture in urban areas nationwide to address food security and appropriating funds therefore. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Agriculture and Finance.
Senate Number 1423, an act establishing nursing homes for senior citizens at the provincial and city levels, providing for funding, setting standards, ensuring personnel training, promoting community participation, and for other purposes. Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committees on Social Justice, Local Government and Finance.
Senate Number 1424, an act integrating the study of West Philippine Sea in the curricula of all public and private basic educational institutions. Senator Estrada.
To the Committees on Basic Education and Finance.
Senate Number 1426, an act establishing the Philippine Professional Standards and Quality Assurance System. Senator Legarda.
To the Committees on Higher Education and Civil Service.
Senate Number 1427, an act strengthening the Commission on Higher Education, repealing for the purpose RA 7722, the Higher Education Act of 1994. Senator Legarda.
To the Committees on Higher Education, Ways and Means and Finance.
Resolutions. Proposed Senate Resolution 138, congratulating and commending Filipino-American singer Jessica Sanchez for winning America's Got Talent Season 20, the first contestant of Filipino descent to win the competition. Senator Estrada.
To the Committee on Rules.
Proposed Senate Resolution 140, expressing the sense of the Senate and celebrating the robust interparliamentary relations between the Senate of the Philippines and the National Assembly of Hungary, and honoring the steadfast leadership of its distinguished Speaker, the Honorable Laszlo Kover. Senator Zubiri.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we consider proposed resolution number 140. This is a resolution honoring Hungary parliamentary ties and Speaker Laszlo Kover. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there an objection? Hearing none, the consideration of proposed Senate Resolution 140 is in order. Secretary is directed to read the title of the resolution.
Resolution expressing the sense of the Senate in celebrating the robust interparliamentary relations between the Senate of the Philippines and the National Assembly of Hungary, and honoring the steadfast leadership of its distinguished Speaker, the Honorable Laszlo Kover.
Mr. President, may I be recognized to sponsor the motion, Mr. President?
You may do so. You proceed, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Siguro kasama ko po dito sa ating Senado ay nagtataka bakit po natin in-honor ang ating samahan at pagkakaibigan ng Hungary and the Hungarian Parliament is also because we're going to receive the Hungarian Speaker, which is the number 3. I think he's your co-equal, Mr. President. They only have a single parliament in Hungary, but he's also third in rank and line of succession in Hungary, and he'll be visiting us, I believe, on October 15. So that's why we are hopefully be able to pass this resolution and be giving it to him. And as a fact, Mr. President, Hungary has always been a good friend of the Philippines, particularly since our establishment of diplomatic relations 52 years ago. Since then, Hungary has championed us in matters regarding the European Union. As a matter of fact, when we pushed for our status as priority beneficiary of the General Scheme of Preferences, or GSP, and our ongoing negotiations for free trade agreement, it is Hungary that's in the forefront of pushing for these two measures to be approved by the European Union Parliament. Hungary has also been constant in her support for our country's fair share in the global landscape, such as our maritime rights under the international law, as well as our bid for membership with the United Nations Security Council and the United Nations Commission on International Trade. The close friendship between our two countries is perhaps best exemplified through our ties with the Parliament's Hungary-Philippines Friendship Group, headed by the Deputy Speaker, who's a dear friend of mine, Mr. President, Isvatan Yakab. And he's the president. I happen to be the counterpart. I happen to be the president of the Philippine-Hungary Friendship Group. When we visited last October 2023, they graciously welcomed our delegation in 2023 as well as 2020, as early as 2029, of which time we were hosted by this previous one by the national speaker himself, Laszlo Kover, along with Deputy Speaker Yakub. In turn, we've had the honor of welcoming friends from the Hungarian National Assembly in November 2021, led by Deputy Speaker Yakub, and in January of this year, led by Committee on Foreign Affairs Chairperson Zolt Nemeth. And again, this October, as Speaker Cover leads an official visit to the Philippines. These exchanges have been wonderfully productive and have yielded stronger partnerships in agriculture, education, healthcare, and disaster management. As an agriculturist myself, I have to thank Hungary for being extremely generous with their expertise in agriculture and aquaculture technology, to our great benefit, Mr. President. Indeed, one of the highlights of our 2023 visit to Hungary was getting to sit down with the heads of Hungarian universities, Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, or MATE. This is the equivalent of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, which dedicates 35 slots for Filipino scholars every year. And many of our best and brightest are getting their education in Hungary. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, my Chief of Staff, Attorney Nelisa Macapayag, is a graduate of Hungarian education for her master's. And they'll bring all that knowledge back home to help us build stronger agricultural sector and more food security for the future of our Filipinos. To top that, during our meeting with the Hungarian cabinet officials in 2023, we learned that they have allotted 20,000 jobs to Filipino workers in their agricultural and IT industries. Let me repeat that, Mr. President. Hungary allotted 20,000 Filipino jobs in their agricultural and IT industries. They love the Filipinos in Hungary because Hungary happens to be also a very Catholic country. Many people don't know that, they're quite religious. They believe in family values. Kaya pagpunta po ng ating mga kababayan dun sa Hungary, fit na fit po sila sa sistema at sa kultura ng mga Hungarian. So that's why they love the Filipinos. We're the only country that they've given that large of allotment of workers. Hungary has truly given us their full support from education to employment. And I have every faith that the upcoming visit of the delegation led by Speaker Cover will further strengthen the ties between our two countries, built upon 52 years of friendship and building towards an even more robust future of bilateral cooperation. To celebrate this friendship, we'll be presenting the Senate resolution to Speaker Cover during his parliamentary visit here in the Senate on October 15. In line with this, I would like to invite all our colleagues to a luncheon reception on the same day for the entire Hungarian delegation. So once again, Mr. President, maraming salamat.
Thank you. Majority Leader, are there any interpellation?
There are no interpellations, Mr. President, just a quick amendment to the resolution.
Therefore, I will entertain a motion to
Yeah, we
open
could close the period
amendments.
to close the period of interpellation, Mr. President. So,
Period of interpellation is closed. The period of amendments open.
Yes,
You are
Mr.
recognized.
Mr. President, just on the second whereas clause to delete, and I quote, end the United Nations Commission on International Trade. Close quote. I so move, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, amended is approved.
There being no other amendments, move to close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of amendments closed.
Mr. President, with that, I move to adopt Senate Resolution number 140, subject to style. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. PS Resolution 140 is hereby approved.
May I request that all
Adopted.
members be made co-sponsor, Mr. President?
Hearing no objection, therefore we are making all the members present as co-authors or co-sponsors. Co-authors of the measure.
And we have another resolution, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we consider proposed Senate Resolution number 128. This is the resolution commemorating the 115th birthday anniversary of Wenceslao Vinsons. I so move, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of PS 128 is approved. Majority Leader.
I will ask the Secretary, Mr. President, to read.
Secretary.
I move that we consider the proposed Senate resolution and ask the Secretary to read.
Yes, the Secretary will read the measure, will read the title of the measure.
Resolution commemorating the 115th birth anniversary of Wenceslao Q. Vinsons and honoring him as the perpetual symbol of hope and youthful leadership in the struggle against poverty, inequality, and corruption.